Owner of the original Espresso machine company and Millar's wood roasted organic coffee. I've got a new espresso machine I want to show you today, so let's go check it out. This is our new espresso machine. It's called the Strong Primary True Grip. It's been out now for about 8 months. It's just an updated model of our previous model. The primary's been out for almost 8 or 9 years. It's been a pretty nice machine. We've had really good luck with it. It's got some new features I want to let you guys know about. The first feature that I really like, it's kind of obvious right from the get-go, is the blue lights. It really has a cool light underneath it. Illuminates your drink. It has a kind of a nice look to it. The second feature that I really enjoy on this machine is the semi-automatic override system. And what this really does is it ensures that if you ever have a computer issue with your espresso machine, you're going to have total control over using the machine even if you have a computer issue. It's a down-the-road type idea. Certainly we wouldn't expect any problems right from the get-go because it is a very well-made machine. So what it does basically is gives you full control over the brewing and also the filling and the hot water spigot. And what's neat about it, it's a simple switch. So our computer system and our touchpads are overridden with these here switches. I'm going to show you the toggle switch. Toggle switch is actually right there. That's where the override system, you remove this little bolt, and what you end up with is a total override system, and it shuts down the computer, shuts down the touchpads, and gives you complete use of the machine, even without any computer, which is nice. Computers usually go out typically in power outages. You could have loose connections, those type of issues, and really it's a long-term type benefit, and we really enjoy it because we've been pushing for this idea for a long time. We finally have it on this new model, and we enjoy it because it really ensures the customer never to be down. They'll never lose business because of computer issues. And the eventuality of all electronics, they will fail, unfortunately. But we really enjoy it. We think it's a great feature. The other feature that I really like in this machine is the automatic cleaning function. And what that does is, typically when you go at the end of the day to clean your machine, you would take a cleaning basket, you would pop it inside one of the handles, you put some cleaner in it, put a teaspoon of cleaner in there, put it in the machine, and you would run a brew cycle on and off, on and off, on and off. And you have to do that about 15 times. What makes the automatic cleaning function desirable is that all I've got to do actually is hold down the continuous pour and touch very quickly the semi-automatic. And if you see on the computer, it says group cleaning. And what it does is it gives you the cleaning function without having to stand there and wait and do it. So at the end of the day, it'll really improve your cleaning time at the end of the day. So I really like it. It's a really neat function. The other thing that I like about this machine is how the panels come off. Most machines can take up to a half hour to take the panels off, believe it or not. A lot of the sides are made of plastic. They're very fragile. Of course, on this new model, it's all stainless steel. We're a firm believer in stainless steel throughout the machine. We believe it's a longer durability for the machine, so it's a big improvement over plastic. But I'm going to show you really quick how this machine comes apart and how a technician could actually get into the machine very easily. There's two actual bolts that are on the machine. There's one here and there's one here. You remove this bolt and you swing this one as a little sliding mechanism, and all you have to do is pull it out. And what that does, it gives you a very easy in and out. Accesses the whole machine. I actually don't have to spend 25 minutes taking the side panel off to get to a potential issue. We've really thought about it in the long term in terms of if there is service to be done on the machine, what do we have to do to get to it quickly so the customer isn't down? Those type of things are in the thought process. I've been doing service on espresso machines for over 25 years, and that's always been a big frustration to me, is how fast can I get in the machine to get the service and get out of the customer's way. Because you guys, as the potential owner of this machine, when you're up and you're making coffee, the most important is, of course, keeping the customers coming and not telling them, hey, my machine's down. Number one benefit is, of course, going to be the taking apart the panels. Number two is of course the semi-automatic override, and just little things like that can add up to a lot of money, especially if you're paying a technician up to $85 an hour to service your machine. A little bit of time can add up, and not to mention the loss of customers or loss of business. So I'm going to show you inside the machine a couple things inside that are pretty exciting. What we're using is a 99.9% pure copper. And what that does, it transfers the heat the best. So this boiler, which is oversized, it's a really nice transfer of heat. So you're going to have really good thermal stability. And what that means is your temperature of your coffee is going to stay very stable. The second thing they've done to keep the stability of the coffee is we improved the group head design. This is the group head off a machine, the same head here. And what we've got is what we call an improved E61 head. What it is, it's got two ports, one at the bottom, one at the top, and we get a good circulation of water. The inside of here is hollow, and what that does, it gives you a very good circulation of water, thermal stability, and then what that means is your temperature of your coffee, whether the first one or the 10th one, is always going to taste the same. Important to always be obviously consistent if you're in the coffee business. In any restaurant type establishment, you want to be consistent. So having consistent temperature is very, very important. We hold within 2 degrees. Even no matter how busy you are. I really like that from a consistency standpoint. And so the machine's been really well engineered. This is an improved E61. They make E61 standards. This is an improved one. They've opened this up. They've actually hauled this out much more area for flow, and they've improved the jet design on it. So the jet design disperses the water with pre-infusion, of course, which pre-wets the coffee. So that is some important improvements. Other things in this machine which are really important, which I really like, is, of course, we've got a full-size rotary vane pump. This is the best pump in the business. They didn't cut any corners in the pumps. But you'll see something that's different here than most machines. The wiring is actually made from a Teflon-coated, it's a Teflon-coated fiberglass wrapped wire. This is the highest heat wire, the highest quality wire you can buy. What that does in the long run, again, we're talking years down the road, this wire will stay intact. It'll stay a really nice wire. It'll still be flexible, won't break down over time. It's meant for much higher temperatures than this machine will ever produce. But we like that in the long-term thinking. What this machine has, which is a really big benefit, it has levers. When you're turning the steam on and off, it's much easier to turn it up and down than it is to twist a knob. But the biggest benefit, of course, is the fact that the actual lever has a lifespan about 5 times greater than a traditional twist knob. A twist knob is one of those things where, yeah, you've got to twist it every day and it's not the end of the world, but you have metal on metal typically, and what that does, it grinds itself down. On a joystick style, you can have Teflon rollers, nylon roller bearings, so we have a much greater lifespan on a lever, much easier to use. I think a little bit more control, it's a little more gradual and full blast, and it works in both directions. We also use a solid stainless steel wand. Some machines that are on the market right now use a chrome-plated wand, chrome-plated copper actually, and the copper, of course, doesn't adhere to the chrome real good. Eventually, you're going to have some copper exposed, and the chrome will eventually flake off and get into people's drinks. So we like the solid stainless steel. We think that's a better, because you can scratch it as much as you want, hit it with a Scotch-Brite, it doesn't really matter. There's lots of machines that still use chrome-plated copper, but we think the stainless is for service life. Again, long term, the stainless steel is the best decision. The other thing we have that's interesting is we have a really different height than most machines. A typical machine has a short height. This is an older machine. It's got a much shorter height. What that does is mainly limits you to just using it for shot glasses. What we're going for is a to-go mentality. This will take up to a 20-ounce cup. So if I don't want to do a step of putting it in the shot, then pouring it into a cup, I can actually just put it right into the cup, save a step, increase the speed, and of course, ultimately make the drink quicker. But if I want to make a shot, if I may want to monitor the way the shot looks if you're a purist. Then I can use these movable trays here, so we can use and go directly into a shot if we want. A really neat feature is we use a dual gauge on ours. So on our pressure gauge, we're using a steam pressure gauge on top and a water pressure gauge on bottom. Some machines only have one gauge. We like to know what the water pressure is, and we like to know where the steam pressure is. And that's a neat feature because it gives us more information if we're ever servicing the machine or if we're ever having a problem with the machine. It's nice to have that. And then another feature that we have that I really like is the sight glass. It's a traditional sight glass. It's a water glass inside the machine. And what that does is it gives you the ability to look at the min and the max of the water in the boiler. Now this machine has an automatic water filling function. And what that is, an automatic water filling function is the computer inside of it maintains the water height in the boiler. This is kind of a throwback to the older machines. If this were to ever fail, if I were to have a computer issue, then I could actually maintain my water and be able to monitor it semi-automatically with using my buttons here, and I can maintain my water level, which is really important so I don't burn up the heating element. The computer on this machine does a lot of functions more than just the auto cleaning. It actually does a drink counter. It'll tell you how many drinks you have, so it's an anti-theft drink counter, which I really like. It also has self-diagnostic functions. So if there's ever a problem with the machine, you can actually go into the machine and see an error message, and you might call the service tech and say, hey, it's giving me this error message or this different message. And the neat thing about that is before the service tech comes out, he has a better idea what might be the problem with the machine. In the long run, that's going to save you money. You know, I've come from more of a service standpoint on these machines. I'm always looking at and always trying to help people understand that probably one of the most expensive parts of owning an espresso machine is the service. So the faster service you can get, the quicker you can get a service tech out, and you're going to save money. So he doesn't have to make 2 trips. So of course, in this machine is pretty typical for most full-size 2-group machines as far as sizing. All stainless steel, like I said before. We've got a full-size pressure switch inside the machine. This runs all the power in the machine. And we didn't, you know, even on this component, just like the pump, full-size pump, we've got a full-size power distribution. This is actually what runs the temperature in the machine. And of course a single probe system, which is really nice. You know, and a very easy to get to computer. So that's it with this new strong primary 2-group espresso machine. I think in the long term, you'll be very happy with the machine. It has a lot of features that are very beneficial for you as the customer or as the end user. And I think your customers will enjoy the coffee that comes out of it. It brews a great cup of coffee. Has very high steam output. And more importantly, it's going to last a long time and easy to service as well. So thanks for checking us out.